Hello students, so today we are going to continue the revision of Science 2 lesson. First, in that we have till now we have completed up to evidences of evolution. Okay, so today we will start new point, that is Darwin's theory of natural selection. So Darwin has explained about the survival of fittest. What is the survival of fittest? So the organism compete with each other for the survival. The organism that has the morphological factors to win the competition, they go forward in the competition, and those who lack in that competition, they become extinct. So this is explained by the Darwin's theory of evolution. Okay, for the surviving organisms, they reproduce again and give rise to new species of their own characters. So this is the simple theory of Darwin's theory of natural selection. Okay, so in this theory there are only three objections given. So first objection is that Darwin's theory is not only the factor responsible for the evolution. Okay, so it does not explain useless modification. For example, the vestigial organs. Vestigial organs are those organs which are not useful or which have become dysfunctional. Okay, so about those factors it is not explained in the Darwin's theory. And the third objection is it does not explain about the slow or abrupt changes. So how the changes takes place in the evolution, that is not explained in the Darwin's theory. So these are the three objections of the Darwin's theory. Now next point is about Lamarckism. Now Lamarck was a scientist. So Lamarck scientists have given a theory called as use or disuse of organs. Okay, so that theory is called as Lamarckism. In this, it is explained that morphological changes occurring during evolution is the result of activeness or laziness of that organisms. Okay, this concept is called as the principle of use or disuse of the organs. So for example, they have given certain examples in your textbook. First example is given of wings of ostrich and emu. They have become weak because they do not fly and thus do not use it. Okay, next example is of the giraffe. Giraffe is constantly browsing on the long trees. It is eating the leaves of the long trees. Due to this, the neck of the giraffe have become elongated. The next example is given of the ironsmith. Due to constant hammering of the iron, the shoulders of the ironsmith have become very strong. So these are the few examples given in your textbook about the Lamarckism. So the Lamarckism theory is also called as inheritance of acquired characters. Okay, now the next point, before going to next point, let us discuss the drawbacks of Lamarckism. There are only two drawbacks. First drawback is transfer of acquired characters from one generation to the other generation was rejected. Okay, why it was rejected? Because it is proved that modification brought in it is not transferred to the next generation. Whatever the modification are brought in us, these modifications are not transferred to the next generation. So the transfer of acquired character was rejected. So this is the only drawback of Lamarckism. Then next point you have is speciation. Speciation is very simple. Formation of new species of plants and animals due to evolution is called as speciation. Now next point we will see about the human evolution. So here you can see the journey of human. So first man, or we can say not man, we cannot say man, but ancient animals like lemurs were found 7 crore years ago. So the name of these animals were lemurs. Okay, they had tail. The feature was they had tail. You can see in this book they had tail. Then after that 4 crore years ago, the name of the man, you can call it as Egyptopithecus. Okay, the features of this man were monkey-like appearance and they had the tail was disappeared. Okay, then afterwards 2.4 crore years ago, this name of the man was Dryopithecus, and the features were they used hands for eating. You can see this hand-like structure. They used hand for eating and doing other work, and they started getting adapted to the land. So they started living on the land. These two these two animals were living in the forest on the trees, but the Dryopithecus man was living on the land. Then afterwards 1 crore years ago, that is the name of the man was Ramapithecus. The features of this man were they evolved in intelligence. Lumbar bone developed, erect posture developed, development in intelligence. So in this picture you can see the posture is erect, more erect than the Dryopithecus man. So the intelligence power increased. Lumbar bone is this below the spinal cord. Okay, that is the lumbar bone. These were the features of the Ramapithecus man. Then afterwards 40 lakh years ago, the name of the man was Australopithecus. Okay, the feature of this man was they had lumbar bone, erect posture, and development in intelligence. Then the next one was 20 lakh years ago. The name of this man was human-like animals, or you can also call it as Homo sapien. Okay, so 20 lakh years ago, the name of the man was human-like animals, or the Homo. Features were skills got developed and they had erect posture. Okay, so these were the features. Then afterwards 1.5 lakh years ago, the name of the man is Neanderthal man. Neanderthal man was had developed brain, increased intelligence. It discovered fire, and it was called as the first wise man. Okay, Neanderthal man is called as the first wise man. Then the 50,000 years ago, the name of the man is called as the Cro-Magnon man. So the features of this Cro-Magnon man were modern ancestor of man and wise with skills and increased intelligence. So this is the journey of humans, how they have evolved.